Welcome in, Renegades. So today we have the big announcement we've been waiting for a very long time. My prediction was it was going to come out by February, and we got lucky and it came out sooner. ckETH is here. This is the most insane news in crypto. It was just released right now on the internet computer. And thank you all for being here. Smash that like button, subscribe. Our last video we did here almost got 100 likes. We've never had 100 likes on a live stream, so please go over and like that video if you have time and check it out. It's a great video. But today we hope to have a special guest. Let us know who you think it is in the chat who's going to be on the channel tonight. But we'll get into some news. We're going to look at a couple of things that happened. We're going to talk about some integration. We're going to talk about the world computer, and we're going to just chat a little bit too. We'll discuss this and see what you guys are thinking about the Ethereum integration and everything else. So let's get into some comments here. I do want to go over this before we get started. Scott M., great question. He asked, what happens when a token launch doesn't meet their minimum goal? Not looking too good for Querio and Track so far. Now, I've seen projects come really far back, and just smash it and come back at the end and really take off. So they are not out of, they're not in deep water yet. They are, they do have a possibility of it going through and it being a bad mamma jamma. But if it does not go through and something happens, they don't reach their minimum goal, which happened with Sonic actually. And I think it might have happened with Kinnick. I'm not 100% sure if Kinnick failed the first time or not. I think they did. But what happens is they can resubmit a proposal. They can go through and fine tune it, make it a little bit different. They can lessen the amount depending on their tokenomics and everything. And then they can resubmit it, or they can resubmit it exactly the same and hope it does better next time. So that's a very good question. Glad you asked that. We are going to be talking about some really big things. This is why I got in the internet computer. They talked about ckBTC. It's been out for a year now. Now ckETH is here. But I do want to also talk about the price before we, what we're going to talk about at the end of the show. Basically, the Bitcoin hammer happened today. And I don't talk about this very much unless it happens, and it only happens every now and again. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a background on what the Bitcoin hammer is. There's something called the Bitcoin dominance. Okay, and that is the total market cap of all of crypto, and then Bitcoin's chunk of that total market cap, which is going to be somewhere around 50%, somewhere around there. It's more than half of the market cap sometimes. And so it is not just the Bitcoin dominance that I'm talking about. It's an actual pattern with the Bitcoin dominance as the factor that drives the price. So what I have researched is a pattern that I've seen at least 100 times since I've been in crypto. And what happens, the best thing for this is on Coinbase, and it's a line chart. I know it's stupid, right? But you can really see the Bitcoin hammer. We'll look for it on the regular chart too. We'll look at Bitcoin at the end. But this is the Bitcoin hammer. It happens every time. And I want to show it to you while I describe it, so that you can kind of follow along with me. And it's only on the daily. It's a daily pattern. Sometimes it lasts for 2 days. Now, if you look at this chart, what happens over here, okay, is we have kind of a little dump W. Then we have this big pump, right, that goes up. And then we have a big dump afterwards. And then at the end of the pattern, we end up at the same price that we started out before the big pump over here, right? We end up right around this line right here, down here. Okay, right about there, 43,800. 43.99. So what happens, we get a big pump, a dump, and then Bitcoin goes right back to the same level it started at. Now, what does this do to altcoins? Now, there is the Bitcoin dominance, but this is a pattern within the Bitcoin dominance that affects altcoins. As you see, with the Bitcoin dump that goes down, okay, we do not go back up with Bitcoin. We don't end up back up where we were up here. Okay, we end up down over here. So it was the Bitcoin hammer. Last time Bitcoin went up, it didn't have that same pattern, so we went up with Bitcoin. So that's very interesting. We'll talk more about that at the end. So, I like these. I like these guesses. We have a Six Figs, Dominic Williams, Six Figs, or Crypto Wendy. Crypto Wendy would be awesome. It's not her. It might be Satoshi Nakamoto, though. We might have the biggest breaking news in crypto. That would be the most insane news in crypto. Crypto Wendy, that's another good guess. Javier Milei as your guest, who will abolish central bank for Argentina. I like that guess. That's my favorite guess so far. So we'll see. He should be here soon, but let's get into some news. And then I think he'll come in at the perfect time and we can, have a discussion about the news and a little bit of price talk too at the end. Little double video for you. So great stuff here. I want to start off right now with this. Hold on. Yeah, this tweet right here. So the ecosystem in ICP, the ecosystem, is one of the biggest ecosystems for developers in crypto right now, which means the building level of the internet computer, the establishment, the building blocks, the foundation is very strong. And when you build something on a strong foundation, it tends to survive when you build on that foundation, right? And so what is going to happen is mass adoption is going to come. People are going to FOMO into the internet computer. And all of us that were watching all of these projects and are investing in these projects, putting our time into these projects, our finances, all of these things, we will be benefiting from that very soon and in the future as well. So join us for an exclusive showcase of ICP ecosystem project demos featuring cutting edge projects at the IBW official conference. So this is the India Blockchain Week. So it's a 2-day headline conference anchoring an action-packed week of Web3 events from the 4th to the 10th of December. So that's pretty cool. Wait, 2-day headline. The 6th and 7th. Okay, so there's a Web3 event from the 4th to the 10th, and then the 2-day conference is on the 6th and 7th. So that's today and tomorrow. But these projects are obviously ones that we are watching. Now, you asked about a project that failed their SNS launch, and Sonic actually failed their launch at first, but they were and they ended up being able to launch and get their token going. Now, this is DeFi, right? This is going to be where you can buy your tokens, your ckBitcoin. We're going to look where ckETH is available now. That's huge. So decentralized AI. Now, Elna Live is something that I'm really watching right now, as well as the other big AI integrations going into the internet computer. They are changing the landscape forever. So we also have ChainSight. This is a nice oracle for EVM, which is going to be very important going forward with the Ethereum integration. Then we have our SocialFi, which is Rubaru. We talked about this on the channel, which is an Instagram on the internet computer that is completely decentralized on the blockchain and a creator developer economy. So a creator economy. I don't know why I said developer. But this is fire. This is what we want to see, is these projects really moving forward, still thriving after their SNS launches. Pretty cool. So before we get into the CK Ethereum, let's go back and kind of revisit ckBTC. So how ckBTC solves the dilemma of blockchain bridges. Well, I want to talk about this. We've talked about this before, so excuse me if you've been on the channel a lot. $2 billion in crypto was stolen in the first part of 2022 because of blockchain bridges. Now, we have something called ckBitcoin, which is a wrapped version of Bitcoin on the internet computer. It's actually a clone of Bitcoin on the internet computer. There's no bridge. It's directly integrated, no third party, but you could call it a wrapped version so that you understand what that means. Technically not wrapped. It's actually using ECDSA threshold signing to be able to interact with Bitcoin directly on the Bitcoin blockchain. So if you use a wrapped asset, let's say, you will not be able to interact with wrapped Ethereum on the Bitcoin blockchain. What internet computer does that's different than any wrap tokens, and we can call it a wrap token, but let's call it CK because it's chain key. It kind of confuses people when you say wrap, but to understand what it is, it's similar to a wrapped one, except you can interact with Bitcoin, CK Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin blockchain. So you can directly use a Bitcoin address to interact with the internet computer. So you don't have to just use a wrapped Ethereum address, right? So you can't send wrapped Ethereum to the Bitcoin blockchain. It would get lost forever. So that's you could turn wrapped, Bitcoin back into Bitcoin, but you would have to use that bridge. It would cost you money, and you could not interact with the wrapped version on the Bitcoin blockchain. With the internet computer, vice versa, you can interact with ICP on the Bitcoin blockchain. You can interact with Bitcoin on the ICP blockchain, and vice versa. It's a completely integrated solution, and it can't be hacked. So nobody loses money. So it's not only better, cheaper, faster, but it also saves you a lot of money in the end. So Chainkey Bitcoin on the internet computer is part of a native integration with the Bitcoin network at a protocol level. This means that transactions occur directly between the two networks without any intermediary bridges, eliminating the vulnerabilities associated with bridge hacks. So this is important. So this is what you need to know about Chainkey Ethereum. It's the same thing, except now you can interact with ICP and Ethereum, both on each native blockchain, without a need for a bridge. And so this will bring every blockchain into the internet computer without a bridge. So all of these blockchains can interact with each other and become a global economy within Web3. So this is what we want to see now. For the news we have all been waiting for. Oh, yes! I mean, I'm happy about this. This is something that really is near and dear to me, because I wouldn't call myself a Bitcoin and Ethereum maximalist, but if you're in crypto and you don't see the value of Bitcoin and Ethereum as investments, as, DeFi, as now Bitcoin, you can do ordinals and all that cool stuff, then you're really missing out on crypto, and you're just trying to 100x something, and good luck. But if you're really into making money in long-term crypto, investing, hedging your money against inflation, using DeFi, any kind of, lending, borrowing protocol, any kind of NFT project, then you're going to want to be on the internet computer interacting with Bitcoin, Ethereum. I see CK Solana, I see CK Cardano, CK ADA, CK Sol, CK XLM, CK GRT. This is all the future. CK ACH. This is going to be amazing. So CK, now we also have stable coins on the internet computer. I'm going to have to mess around with ERC20 stable coins on the internet computer, see if I can hedge some internet computer. When the price goes down, buy some stable coins. When the price goes back up, I can just trade my stable coins directly for more ICP, get more ICP out of it. When the price goes up, I buy the stable coin. The price goes down, I buy internet computer, right? So that's how you do it. So the price goes up, you take profit, turn it into stablecoin, let the price go down, then you buy more. Not financial advice, but that's how I make my money. That's how I did in the last bull market. So we are thrilled to announce that ckETH is now live. Explore trustless multi-chain Web3 with ICP and discover smooth interactions with Ethereum. See how you can interact with it on GitHub. So I'm going to leave this link here. This is the most important tweet in crypto right now. I don't care what anybody says. This is absolutely fire. So we have Six Figs here. He is going to be our guest. A lot of you actually got it right. So let's invite him onto the stage, and we will discuss Chainkey Ethereum, and then we will get into some price action. This is actually where I wanted him in the video. So perfect.
What's up?
Hey, what up, man?
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on, man. It's been a long time. We've been way overdue. And sure, I'm so glad that it worked out tonight. So it's kind of last second.
Yeah, you
really jumped on. Much going on. And so I was like, oh, heck yeah. I threw on my Moto Co t-shirt.
Yeah.
So, we're keeping it real around here.
For sure, man. Well, I appreciate you being here, man, and jumping on so quick. It was like 10 minutes of warning. You're like, yeah, dude, I'll jump on for sure. So, I just want to thank you, for being here and for everything you've done for ICP. You've made this a community that I'm happy to be a part of. And so before we get into this, let's just discuss CK Ethereum for a minute. This has been something that Dfinity has been kind of, working on for over a year now. I believe, since the integration of ChainKey Bitcoin, which we just discussed with an article. So I just want your opinion, man, because I look up to you. I kind of admire you a lot. And so your opinion means a lot to me. What is the possibilities, though, with CK Ethereum right now? I just discussed stable coins a little bit because I like to make money with stable coins and get out of crypto and then buy back in. It's better than using cash. But what do you see the biggest benefit of Ethereum being integrated right now into the internet computer?
Yeah, dude. Well, first and foremost, thanks for the kind words. And I would have never discovered the ICP ecosystem, the community, or anything like that if it wasn't for you in the first place. When we met long ago on Crypto Wendy's channel, I can't believe that's been a couple of years now. But had we not made that connection, I would have never, ever even looked at ICP. So thank you for being the guy that opened that door for me, because it's absolutely changed my life, to say the least. So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, man. And we would be absolutely lost without you, because so the big thing was, like you said, you wouldn't have even looked at ICP in the first place, right? And that is because of the manipulation that happened with FTX that you covered and you brought to light on your channel, and you made public news and calling out Arkham Intelligence, all of these things that you did. So what happened is I brought in a friend because I wanted him to benefit from what I saw and what I benefited. And then what happened is that turned into you getting information that nobody else would have had access to, or at least for a longer time, maybe another month or 2 months, if they would have found it at all. And then, so how many more people joined the internet computer because of you and you releasing that information to let people know that this is why this happened, and this crypto is actually really good. So I think that's why we got where we are today. So credit where credit's due.
I can't take credit for any of that stuff without giving you the credit too. So that's a good point. I don't know if it would have ever been discovered, because the information was floating out there. It was very hard to find, but it would have been out there for about a year, or so. I just don't know that, maybe a year and a half. I just don't know that anybody would have ever picked up on it. But it is what it is. Yeah, I'm glad the ship was righted, and the word got out, and I mean, I couldn't be any happier for Dfinity and the internet computer, the community, to have that closure, to have that. When I first got into the internet computer, man, everything I would post was followed by comments with rug pull, rug pull, rug pull. You don't see that anymore. Like, the information's out there, and that narrative has been squashed like a foot on a bug or something, So that's great. But as far as like the ckETH, man, I am super bullish on this. I did a video on this as well yesterday, and I just can't help but to think how much this is going to actually revolutionize Ethereum. It is doing all the Ethereum users a big favor, especially once it gets a little bit more adoption. Let's just say we start seeing ckETH start popping up on some dexes within the IC. We start seeing some stable coins. I caught the very tail end when you came in. You were talking about some sort of stable coins. And, that will give us a lot of leverage, because as long as that stable coin, as long as you have confidence in it and nothing happens to it, that will give you easy entries and exits out of trade without accumulating like these high transaction fees that you get on like Coinbase, crypto.com, things like that. So, when it comes to Ethereum, the gas fees are notoriously high. Sometimes you have to wait. I can remember setting like an alarm to go off in the middle of the night to like sell ETH just to avoid paying like a $200 gas fee or something. The gas fee adds no benefit to the token whatsoever, and I've heard people argue that it does. I don't see that. I think it is a huge barrier to entry. So I'm bullish for ckETH, and especially once that stable coin launches. I mean, it's not just going to be ckETH, ICP, all these other coins too, but ckETH especially, maybe even ckBTC, ckBitcoin, because you'll be avoiding some humongous gas fees there as well. So I mean, I like it, especially for like a high frequency trader like myself. I make it depends on the day, what ways the markets are moving. In the last week, I'm not bragging or anything, but last 7 days, my trading portfolio is up 30%. I'm sitting cash right now. And I would love to have that in a stable coin, but instead it's locked up on some exchange. And if something happens there, I'm out my trading bag. So, uh, I won't ramble on, but man, I'm bullish on this. This is huge. Tip of the hat to Definity and everybody involved with this incredible project.
And that we're seeing the profits now. That's crazy that we had this big run up right before the ckETH went live. And that's why people need to join your channel, because you and I are calling these prices perfectly lately. Six Figs actually calls it to the date though. So you got to check out his channel over there and definitely give him a subscribe and like over there, because he hits it out of the park right there. I actually learned TA from him a little bit. So, and I do my own kind of TA as well. But if you want like the full picture, he has a lot of stuff that I don't talk about over here, and price moves like to the day. So I agree. Everything that you just said there, CK Ethereum with the stable coins with, it's already added to the DEX. That's why I was showing that while you're talking. You can purchase ckETH on ICP swap right now. If you want to get over there, if it's right for you, do that. What's that, bro?
Oh, nice. That's sick.
For sure. Yeah. So what we want to talk about now is how we can use ICP on Ethereum. So my biggest concern right now is people not knowing how to interact with Ethereum on the internet computer blockchain. Now, if I learned anything from Bitcoin, CK Bitcoin on the internet computer, it's pretty easy to interact with. You get an address that you can actually just send on the internet computer. It's just your regular internet computer address, so it makes it really simple. It's like an Ethereum address, right? Each blockchain can have a different like type of Ethereum address. But the internet computer basically uses the same one unless you're using the NNS. Then you need to get a specific address for your NNS. So how do you think that we would be able to interact with ICP on the Ethereum blockchain as some sort of CK ICP? We talk about CK Bitcoin, we talk about CK Ethereum. Let's talk a little bit about CK ICP, and then we'll get into the price a little bit after we discuss that.
Yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see what the devs do. I mean, at this point, I haven't seen anything just yet, but I see that statement at the bottom of the screen. It could be true, it could be false. But Bitcoin Renegade would have been with me for sure.
Oh yeah, I got your back, man.
But what types of things are we going to see? We could see these front ends running on Ethereum or something like that, or ICP. Well, maybe like Ethereum, and then they could be transacting in a ckETH behind the scenes. I think right now the biggest barrier to ckETH is that it is just simply unknown by a large majority of crypto. I think that people within the ICP ecosystem and maybe some of the Ethereum community might know about it, but outside of that, I think it's just kind of unknown because it's so new, right? But I think that as like development progresses on Ethereum, it's going to open up some huge doors. It's going to give people on Ethereum some easy access to speed. It's going to give them easy access to very low transaction costs. And it's going to transform the experience on Ethereum blockchain if ckETH can get adopted and integrated somehow. But I'm not a developer or anything like that, so to be honest with you, I don't know like what technical developments like behind the scenes. I know that they exist, but
Yeah,
what
and,
kind of
and let
technical
me just speak on
developments?
that for a second.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know about that. It's a very new thing. Most people are concentrated on the ckBTC or ckETH. I just kind of wanted your opinion about it.
Yeah.
And you gave a good opinion and account of, kind of a normal person's view of it. Yes! Booyah! Sorry about your ears, man.
No, you're good. No, I'm good. I didn't even hear
though.
anything. Yeah.
You should take those out because you will get damaged on this live stream.
Did you just hit a trade?
No, but I just got a $10 super chat,
Oh,
and
nice.
that's my signature. So the two most legendary ICP content creators on Web 2, soon to be Web 3. Thanks to both of you. Someone double this. I dare you. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Just Forfeit. He always supports the channel. He is the best. Thank you. So these integrations. Sorry, when someone gives me a super chat, it just kind of pumps me up. My adrenaline gets going. I gotta kind of just calm back down. So the ckICP. I just heard about this the other day. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never even thought of ckICP. Now there's this article that we read on the channel here that was discussing the growth of ckICP. And as you were saying, there's not very many people that know about it. The exponential growth has been, I believe, 10% in the last month just of ckICP. So people are actually using it. And that was just on the Bitcoin blockchain, right? So the development of ckICP is underway. Now, I think there can be a lot of things back and forth that could be used like with ckICP, right? So if you want to interact with an Ethereum decentralized application, like say Uniswap, or one that isn't, already integrated in a way where you can use an internet identity wallet, say you want to use SushiSwap. It's not integrated directly with an internet identity. You would be able to use ckICP to trade on that exchange platform as a wrapped version of ICP on the Ethereum blockchain, right? So you would be able to interact with every single other crypto on the Ethereum DEX that can interact with SushiSwap. So you could use ckICP to turn it into Cardano. I mean, actually, they don't have Cardano. Okay, the graph. So sorry, not Cardano, the graph. Okay, an Ethereum token. I don't know where my head was there. But anyway, yeah, so like the graph, or, Algorand, or any of these other cryptos that are ERC20 tokens, right? So you'll be able to interact with them directly on Ethereum. So you won't have to wait for the development of the internet computer. That's the thing. So if you think about that, okay, so we have ckETH right now, right?
Right.
Well, how many decentralized exchanges, how many NFT platforms do we have? Well, a nice amount. But imagine the full capabilities of Ethereum now opened up to ICP. So now everything that you can do on Ethereum, you can now take a chain key version of ICP, and use it on Ethereum and do whatever you want over there.
That would be sick. And to be honest with you, this is the first time I've heard of ckICP.
It's crazy.
When did this come out?
Unheard of. It's unspoken, man.
Has this been a thing for a while now?
I heard about it the other day. So I think it's been live since Bitcoin, man.
Really?
since the it had to have been the Bitcoin integration, ckICP. Yeah. So.
I mean, yeah, dude, it sounds awesome. Everything you just said, like, to get that exposure to all these other ecosystems is exactly what ICP needs.
Right.
It allows our community to really kind of go off the beating path of our own ecosystems. It allows us to enter in these other ecosystems. All these other people can interact with our ecosystem probably. So yeah, that's a good win-win, man. I mean, I'm digging it. Like, I wish I knew more about ckICP
We'll do an update video soon.
Yeah, right. I mean, I just don't have much to, comment on with it.
Yeah, no, I think what you said about the functionality of what it can do, and then me telling everybody actually all the things that they can do with it kind of sums it up. Because there's not a lot of research about it, and there's no way to learn about something unless you're either the developer or there's like a book or a website or like something that you can study. And I'm going to look more into that and find that information and bring it to you guys, because I think ckICP is going to be huge. I think it's not going to be as big as like CK Bitcoin and ckETH, but I think there's a lot of functionality for it.
I agree.
So what's that?
I agree 100%.
Let's take some questions real quick. How about I give this one to you? This is a comment, but what do you think about this? Elna is up over 2,200% since they had their liquidity bootstrapping pool on Sonic in September. Did you know that they had that? And just give me your opinion on that.
I've never even heard of Elna. I really don't pay too much attention to, like, I don't know, is it a meme coin or is it a
No,
project?
Elna is Elna AI. It is basically the way that they're going to integrate, one of the three, because there's 3 projects right now that are all bringing AI into the internet computer. And check out Elna. We actually did something on the channel on Monday, reading an article about that. But it's an AI solution that is basically going to change the way that we see Web3 forever. Yeah, man! Dude! 6 figs, you can't do that, man. That's cheating.
I can do that.
Okay.
He said someone double this. Someone double this. I dare you. So now I'm gonna dare somebody out there to double that.
Double. Oh my god.
Double
dude.
it.
You guys are gonna make my channel hit like 10,000 views on this video, because YouTube loves these super chats, man. I'm telling you.
That's right, they do.
So yeah, Elna's something to watch, so I recommend you do that for sure. Damn, I wish we could have Crypto Airborne on the channel tonight. Should have asked him.
I could send him a message if he wants to pop in, but
yeah, he's always welcome here. Spam the emoji symbols next to the chat bar to amp up the algorithm for Jeff. Yeah, let's everybody comment right now. Let's go. So let's look at the price, man. So I want you to get your chart ready. But right now I'm going to go to my chart real quick. I'm going to look at what happened. And then I'm going to make a little prediction, and then I'm going to turn it over to you, and then the pro can take it over.
Is this the ICP charts?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so we are sitting at $4.94 right now. The good thing is we have some amazing volume, some of the craziest volume that we've seen in probably since, I believe, January, February. Yeah, it's February. We saw maybe March. So we did have a little bit of volume in April. We had like a peak of 121, but just low volume. Look at that. It went down to 18 million right there. And if you look lately, ever since this pump, we haven't really been below 30 million. This volume is really important, especially when we hit like 160 million right there. And then we end up at 82 million. Now, what I want to point out is we have moved up in the ranks from the top 100. We were sitting somewhere around 130, then we moved up into the 90s, and now we are 72 out of all the 8,847 active cryptos. Now, why is this important? Well, we'll go into that in a minute, but I just want to point out this this market cap to you. It's number 31. We moved up from number 32, I believe, on Monday. So we're steadily climbing the ranks. We are moving the volume up, which is up 27% in the last 24 hours. Now, why is this important when it comes to this volume and where we are going? Well, if you look down here, this is the weekly. Okay, we had this big move down here, and our volume, if we go look back here, this was in September. So let's go look in September. So look at that, we barely hit 20 million on a good day, 8 to 20 million. And this is when people should have been scooping it up. Well, if you look, what's that?
Yeah, I agreed. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm just like sitting here agreeing with you.
You're good, man. No, and so that volume, it doesn't make sense why people don't buy there. I was telling you this is the best opportunity in the history of crypto to buy down here. But that's okay if you didn't buy there. We are still in the last part of the bear market moving into the bull market. But as you see, when that volume started to go up, we skyrocketed. Okay, and then we broke this RSI. I told you that was the biggest level. Okay, we went over all that. Now let's look at the price. And if we go from my last video on Monday, you see where we were. We did go up to 488, and then we closed at 471. Now, I was telling you that we were going to make a move to $5. I had told you that, and then I told you we were also going to make a move to 550. And we almost hit 550. We did get caught in this area right here at about 530, which is a pretty big area of resistance right here on our way up to 550. So I do believe that we're still going to be testing that. With the Bitcoin hammer, though, let me just bring up Bitcoin for a second.
The dirty old Bitcoin hammer.
Yes, it's a real thing, man. I'm going to get it patented. It's the Bitcoin dominance mixed with a pump, dump, and then move right back to the same level. And then altcoins, it smashes them down. But as you see with Bitcoin, it had this massive pump to the upside on the weekly. Okay, and let's move these side by side over here. So if we go side by side, you can see that we got pushed way up. So when Bitcoin goes up, okay, it brings the internet computer with it, right? We get a nice pump with Bitcoin. But the thing is, when Bitcoin does the Bitcoin hammer, Bitcoin goes back down. So we have a high of 44,490, and then we have a low of 39,988 right here, right? So what happens is Bitcoin, it actually pumped to 50K on Coinbase. In some other places, you might say 50K as well. Or wait, 45K. I'm sorry, not 50K. That's my fault. So yeah, 45K. It pumped to 45K, and then it went back down to 39.8. And as I was showing you earlier on my Coinbase, let's just look at that again so I can show you what the Bitcoin hammer is. Let me just do this one real quick. So on the daily, pretty easy to see a start at this level over here with a big pump, a dump, and then back to the same level, right? So it dumps and then pumps, and the altcoins cannot go back up with it. It's because of the Bitcoin dominance, but it's an actual pattern within the Bitcoin dominance that nobody's ever talked about before. So we're going to talk about it over here. And as you see, okay, is everything good? Good. Okay, so as you see, when Bitcoin goes up, it didn't even have to dump that much. Right. So if Bitcoin would not have had that pattern happen, we would have seen an altcoin pump after that. We would have had some or during it, except it had that weird pattern within the dominance. So what happens is it pushes that price back down. We hit a resistance level like 532 here, say. So what happens is when that pattern happens, it just pushes us down off of that resistance. Now, if we were at an area where there was like not resistance all the way up to 550, you know, we probably would have went up there, hit that, and then went back down. But since there is a pocket of resistance right here, I would say that this is an area where we needed to test anyway. Now, the important thing is, now that all that is said, we need to close above this $5 level. Why do I say that? Well, if we go back, all the way back, okay, this was a big level, $4.90 to $5. Let's just, as you see, this was an area that was tested by multiple wicks going all the way back from $5 down here, $4.90, right? And I think that's on the weekly. So yeah, just all these tests of that level all the way back. So this $4.90 to $5 level is going to be a very important level to close above on this weekly candle by Sunday. So if we can get above this somehow and just close above here, then this whole area from $5 down to $4.90 is going to become support. So we are going to confirm this level. If we get rejected right here by the end of the week, we are going to go back down and touch 466 and a possible 450 within the next 2 weeks. if we cannot break above this $5 level right now. This is a very important level. But even down to 490, as you see all these wicks, but we have some severe, candle body closes right here, and then resistance, support, test wick. All of these are so important looking back, candle body. And then it closed in between $4 and $5 right there, so this is going to be a very important level to get above before the end of the week, in my opinion. So now I'm going to turn it over to Six Figs. Yes, man. Dude.
Dang.
Thank you, man.
You're going to have to start calling this the money show.
I know, dude. Wow. Yes. So we got to come on your channel soon. I owe you because you've been on the channel so much, and I've just been busy, man. Like I've been working 10-hour days, making videos, and then trying to have some sort of a life as well. So
you've been killing it, dude. Like
appreciate that.
It hasn't gone unnoticed. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you have been absolutely grinding this entire bear market. I don't know that there's probably anybody else out there that's grinded as hard as like the video content side of things, then harder than you. Like you're on here every single day. I try to pop in when I can, but I'm like, man, he's live again. Oh, yep, he's been live again for the last 30 days in a row.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yeah, you're killing it, man. Absolutely.
Hey, once my channel gets to 100K, I'm gonna do videos every day again. Because then I can't do videos every day. Like I do them 3 times a week, which it almost seems like every day I know, because when you look at your phone, like, damn, he's live again. But yeah, so once I get to about 100K, I'll be able to quit my normal job, and maybe even next year during the bull run, and then I'll be able to do it full time. And I won't mind doing every single day. And, I'll probably do my other channel, every other day or something, to talk about other cryptos. But, I do want to talk to you about something though. Six Figs.
Yeah.
So I saw a tweet earlier, and it was very interesting to me. So it kind of goes with this question. I'm going to kind of phrase this as a question for you as well. He says ICP price won't move much till April 2024 due to monthly unlocking. Good to dollar cost average now till March 2024. Okay, now let me ask the question on this. Do you know that the Internet Computer has a venture capitalist firm that was invested in them called Polychain Capital?
Yes.
Okay, so that is one of the biggest venture capitalists that is invested in ICP, and they got in, I believe, back in 2020, maybe 2018. I'm not exactly sure when, but they are having neurons that are unlocking right now. I guess there was 1.4 million ICP that was unlocked today. Now, this coupled with the Bitcoin hammer, I'm going to let you go into your TA and everything with this question. But how do you think that this 1.3 million, I guess they have 2 or 3 more neurons to unlock in the next, I think it's till the first part of next year or something. How do you believe that this is going to affect the ICP price, which it didn't really right now, even though 1.3 million was unlocked? We still are holding that, 490 level, I'm going to say, because we're only at 484. How do you think that this is going to affect the price, if at all? And where do you see us moving from here with this knowledge?
So when you're talking about even like 1.5 million ICP being unlocked today, I think the VCs know what's going on with Internet Computer and Definity, what they've got. It would be stupid for them to sell right now, because let's face it, if they got 1.5 million ICP today, my math might be a little rusty, but I think that would be just about $7.5 million at about like $5. So if they wanted to just go ahead and sell the whole stake today, I mean, we're talking about a $7 million removal of liquidity from a $2.3 billion market cap, which, hey,
that's only barely 10% of the volume today.
Yeah, I don't think, if they did sell, it's going to be like one of those scam wick down moves. But I think they understand that right now, this is, I'm hoping this is the beginning of the bull market, but there is more profits to be had just simply holding that ICP. 1.5 million ICP at $100. oh, you better believe that's going to do some hurt on that market cap, and investors are going to feel that. So they're watching. They've got their own plans. They may hold on to that for 10 years. They may hold on to that for 5 minutes. We just don't know. But Polychain is a serial investor into startups and other crypto projects. So it wouldn't surprise me that they are, and they've been around for a very long time. So it wouldn't surprise me that they played the long game on this too. I mean, hey, if I was sitting on 1.5 million ICP, I'd probably wait to sell that stuff till it hit like $100. Then we're talking 100, we're talking tens and tens of millions of dollars. So
yeah, and if they got in somewhere from like 3 cents to $2, I mean, they're going to be absolutely filthy rich, and they'll be able to invest in anything that they want in the world. So,
and they already are filthy rich too. So I mean, I think like anything for them, I think making anything short of like a couple $100 million is just not worth their time. Perhaps
they won't even start the car for under $100 million.
Exactly. I don't know. It could be the case, but we'll never know. Obviously, it'd be nice to know. But I think as far as, April 2024, I mean, you got to figure that's only 4 months out too. So maybe there's something due to that. Maybe there's something to be paying attention to there. But hopefully we can pump the bags a little bit until then. Maybe we could move a little bit up to like $40 and then
just
really
a little scoot,
shoot off like a rocket or something after that. Once April comes, rock acid is right, and then we go from $40 to like $200 in one god candle on the 5-minute chart or something.
I'm more bullish now. My price prediction, I'm getting it's conservative at $100. I'm going to stick with that, but I think that's my low of my prediction is $100. I think the high is going to be somewhere around $250, $300. That's just my opinion though, because I've kind of studied how cryptos move in their first bull run. And since it was launched in the bull run, I see at least a 25 to a 45x. So that could bring us somewhere close to about $500. So yeah, Justin says 125. And we were talking about this. Yes, man.
Oh my God.
What the heck is going on here?
The Money Channel, baby.
What's going on here? Thank you so much.
Wow. Rock acid in the house.
Scalped some winnings yesterday. So here's a little for your channel. Thanks for the news and updates on ICP. ICP rules the world. Cheers from Singapore. And
Singapore.
I'm going to Singapore to find a wife, man. I swear to you this next year.
Hey, on my travels back from Japan, I met a gentleman. I was smoking some cigarettes. I know. I quit smoking in September, but I was at the airport smoking lounge, and there's this gentleman from Singapore who was telling me all about it, and he just got me absolutely hooked on Singapore, and I've got to visit it now. I
quit smoking just like 2 weeks ago.
Good for
you. I'm vaping now, Juul. Okay. I'm going to quit this too, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. The first couple months, bro, are real tough.
You know what was the hardest part? Telling my daughter that I smoke, because I quit, and then I had to tell her that, like, because I don't lie to my kid, man. I was like, I can't keep this from you. I started smoking again, and she's like, yeah, I forgive you, and because I didn't tell her, right, that I was smoking again, and so I was able to quit smoking though, and that's good news, man. How did you quit smoking in the first place?
It's just cool. Well, see, here's the thing. I've been always like this on again, off again. Like, okay, I'll quit for like 2 years, and then I'll just go back for like 2 months, and then I'll quit again for another 3 years, and then I'll go for 6 months. It's just this on and off again. I don't know.
See, that's not me. I smoked for 23 years, and then I quit for 2 years, and then I started again for the last year. Well, not a year. Like last year, I started smoked for like a couple months, and then started vaping again. But I don't want to do what you're doing. I don't want to keep, because like my friends, that's how I started smoking again. I was like, man, I just want one drag of a cigarette, man. You know, like I'm feeling good right now. Give me a drag. And then a week later, I'm buying a pack of cigarettes, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, not doing that again.
For me, it's typically when I go on vacation. There's no rules. I do what I want, and I have
like eating squid in Japan. I saw that.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
octopus. It was octopus, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was octopus. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, you got to do what you got to do, and
Right.
you know, everybody's got their you know, their vice.
For sure. So, okay, let's move on a little bit. We are getting late into the show. So I just want you to share your screen,
Oh, right on.
do a little bit of TA. Let us know what's up with the Ichimoku clouds. Let us know kind of if there's a time frame for a breakout or whatever you see happening.
Okay.
Just school us a little bit, please.
Gotcha. Well, you know,
you want to share your screen?
Yep, you can go ahead and share it.
Oh, it's right there. Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's down here. Okay, my bad.
Okay.
I couldn't see it. It wasn't on the page. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I share your sentiment when you were talking about that $4.50 level. And for everybody that's kind of looking at this crazy business that's going on, this is just kind of like some leftover TA and stuff like that from a video I did yesterday. But getting back to Bitcoin Renegade was talking about that $4.50 level, and we'll talk about that in just a second because I share that exact same sentiment, and that is an area that I am looking to catch a scam wick down to. $4.50 is literally right on the nuts. But I've got Gone fans up here, folks, and this is a lot to explain, but basically Gone fans help you determine which way the markets are going and really where there's resistance and support levels. And I won't take too much time on this, but I just want to show your audience like how much price action actually respects Gone fan lines. You can see right here, price action tested this fan line here. Same with right here. Again, it came up and tested this little area here. You can see the support here. So you guys can kind of see what it is that I'm talking about here. And there's one thing that I'm paying attention to right now. And like I said, this is kind of some leftover TA. I've been tracking ICP in this price movement, and I do think that there is what's called Elliott wave theory to the upside. And this is a textbook Elliott theory wave. And you see this little squiggle mark here. And what this little squiggle mark is called a corrective wave. And corrective waves can come in ABC or ABCDE fashion. So we're looking for, you know, something like this, you know, and then we're looking for this pulse to the upside. And it's tough to really determine, you know, how far things are going to retrace, especially when there's a lot of money flowing in and out, sentiments bullish, things like that. So that kind of complicates things. But you can kind of see how we've got this little box here that ICP is trading in right now. And right down here at this cornerstone is about $4.49.
Wow.
Right about that $4.50 level that you were talking about. That's kind of the area that I'm eyeing. And this is the 4-hour chart we're looking at. And so we might not necessarily see this, but you can kind of see what is known as a bear pennant, quite possibly. Maybe if we pull up, this could be construed as a bear flag here. You can see this leg down, the flag. So that's a bear flag. This is a continuation pattern that might be telling us that we're going to see some more movement to the downside. So I was talking about that A, B, C corrective wave happening. Well, it might look something like this. And we might come down to test this 200 moving average. I think we'll get the reversal on this, though, when this 50 moving average does what's called a death cross on this 200. So I think we're going to see a little bit of a retracement down to, that $4.50, $4.55-ish level over the next week or so, possibly. I hope that this thing proves me wrong and we keep pumping. It's hard to determine right now, but right now we've got this completion of this Elliott wave theory impulse to the upside. So there, whenever the market gives, it's going to take back a little bit. It's got to constantly find its bearings. And for everybody watching, just remember, even though this might seem like a rational approach to trying to determine what way the markets are going, the markets at the end of the day are very irrational, and they are here to wreck you. So with that said, it wouldn't surprise me that if this 50 moving average on the 4-hour comes down and death crosses, I think we could see a reversal there. And a lot of people might think, oh my God, a death cross, that is scary, and it sounds scary. But I can assure you that in some cases, especially like on the shorter time frame charts, like the 4-hour chart, a death cross isn't always a death sentence. So here we have a death cross, and we had price action reverse shortly after. I mean, ICP, here's another example of a death cross, right? We had a death cross, price ripped up. And this is almost kind of what I'm hoping we see happen, is something like this.
Push it down to 450 and then have a nice push above $5 to close to confirm that area. That would be great.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm hoping. On the 4-hour chart, I'm not really seeing any like patterns. I'm always looking for patterns in the RSI, things like that. But one other thing that I am paying attention to, and I'm just going to delete all this garbage on my screen to make this easy to look at, is that, I'm a big fan of Japanese trading. I've got Japanese Heikin-Ashi candles. I've got the Japanese style Ichimoku clouds. And one thing that I like about the Ichimoku clouds is once you start trading the Ichimoku cloud, you get it's almost like the sixth sense in many ways, where when price has gone too far away from the cloud, you kind of have this idea of when things are going to bottom out, especially like on these weekly charts. You start seeing price action way too far from this cloud, and you start seeing spinning tops like this. You'll know that price will get reeled back into the cloud. In this distance, as far as like the relationship of these candles to the cloud, it's very relevant. Like the further away, the better chances you're going to bounce back. So right now you can see that on the weekly, ICP has never even been above the Ichimoku cloud.
And I wanted to ask you about that because so on our channel, we look at the weekly RSI as one of the biggest indicators whether we're bullish or bearish or not, and whether we can move to the upside. I want to ask you about that Ichimoku cloud, though. Yeah. If we do somehow push up through that Ichimoku cloud on the weekly, if you want to go back to that just for a second.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And I just kind of wanted to show people what happens here when you push above this Ichimoku cloud.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Yep. And so here's Bitcoin. Here it spent the first few years of its existence under this cloud.
And then once it got above, this is perfect for what I was going to ask you too. Boom. So as soon as it gets above, we start going parabolic, it looks like, after the first big move to the upside.
Exactly.
Or first move up through the Ichimoku cloud.
Yeah. And here's another example of the last bull run. Of course, coronavirus had other plans for us right here. But, here's another example of price running. And, these runs are going to get shorter and shorter as time moves on, simply because the higher the price, the less, the less things can pump, right? You need extremely high market caps for Bitcoin to make, a 5,000% run.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The market caps would probably be the entire world market cap at this point. But let's get back to ICP, and I'll show you how this thing has never been above the cloud. And I do think that, this thing is poised to, I'm hoping, close this candle above this cloud. And I'm hoping that we open another cloud and basically, or we open another candle and basically close that above this 50 moving average. There's only been one other time possibly that this has happened. And then once we can get above this cloud and above this $5.53 level, ICP is above the Ichimoku cloud for the very first time ever. It's just
Wow.
This is going to be historic. People don't understand that once the price of ICP gets above $5.55, that's historic stuff for the price. 100%. So, I mean, I'm very bullish on it. On the daily, this thing's just rocking it. We had a golden cross. So I think that, you know, things are on the up and up as long as we don't see any crazy business happening. You know, like let's just say I don't know, the Security and Exchange Commission comes out and says, actually, we are going to deny all these ETFs, things like that. You know, I could see that having some sort of negative impact or something like that. I don't know, man. You know, we might have an inverse head and shoulders here as well.
That'd be nice.
Yeah,
because that would bring us probably up to about the $8 range, wouldn't it? Can you measure that out?
Yeah, I mean, we could actually. We have a great little level here for some Fibonacci. So I'm going to measure off this swing high down to the all-time low.
Well, I was talking about that inverse head and shoulders where the neckline would break the breakout. But yeah, that's good too.
Yep, I see what you're saying. Let's just throw that back up. Oops. Oh my goodness. If I can select the right tools, we'll get this show on the road. So yeah, this thing, you know, I mean, we're looking at about $6 ish, somewhere in there. You know, I'd say like I'd be looking for like this $7.12 level. You know, we're gonna face at this point. We are going to face some pressure at the 61.8 at about $6.21, $7.12. If that breaks $7.12, it's off to $9.75. Now, a lot of options traders, as far as the 127 is concerned, this is kind of like their safe zone. So they take profits at the 127, and some of them will flip positions, some of them will just sit cash. The real ballsy ones wait till the 161.8 at about $11.62 here. So these are going to be some very important numbers to kind of keep in mind. And, you know, I just wanted to touch on something you mentioned just a few minutes ago. And the other day, I was basically doing some homework on the crypto projects that I own. And really, when it came down to it, ICP, and I'm not going to tell you how much I got, but I'll tell Bitcoin Renegades someday. But you know, when we look at the potential market caps that internet computer could possibly reach, we have to consider like, okay, last bull market, Cardano hit 100 billion plus, right? I think it was $100 billion market cap plus. I'm pretty sure. Somebody look it up in the chat. But when it comes down to it, you could maybe assume that ICP is capable this bull run, you know, let's just say a $40 billion market cap. Right? Easy. So at that price, you know, with the current tokenomics, I want to stress this. This is with the current tokenomics like that we are seeing. All the coins, the amount of coins locked up, like, you know, today. You know, that would be roughly an $88 ICP. And so if we could reach half of what Cardano, and let's just face it, ICP is 100 light years ahead of Cardano and what it can do, what capabilities, everything like that. And I love Cardano. I think it's a good project. It definitely is serving a purpose in the ecosystem of the cryptoverse. But at a $50 billion market cap, let's just say ICP somehow generates $50 billion market cap. I hope we look back on this video and say, oh, wow, they were really low on their guesses. It's now 150 billion, but at a $50 billion market cap, that would leave us at about $111. You know, so I'm kind of calculating some of these numbers. Yeah, it's obtainable, absolutely. And even 60 billion, that's going to leave us with about $133 ICP. So, you know, I know a guy, and I'm not going to mention anybody's names or anything like that. Okay, so Rock Acid says ADA market cap tops 98 billion. Okay, I knew it was right up around that $100 billion ish mark.
Right.
But you know, I think there's a chance. Have a plan, because I'm going to tell you guys just a quick story about a guy I know that didn't have a plan. This gentleman made well over, man, I want to say the last bull market, he wrote it up from about I want to say like a $75,000 portfolio to $1.6 million. And unfortunately, this gentleman did not take profit.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. And he's back to square one, but he's in a better position this time around, I think, to get back to that original high of 1.4 $1.6 million. So you think about like this is, let's say you got a $5,000 portfolio. Okay, your goal might be 50K. Okay, you're going to have to make that 50K. Then you're going to have to save that for the next bear market. Allocate funds at the very bottom. Once exchanges start collapsing, once all the SBFs start getting removed, like we've gone through the ringer here the last year, folks.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's just this big reaccumulation game, I feel like, So I'm not trying to go on that.
That's the only way to win in crypto, though, man.
Yeah.
Like, so you can almost guarantee yourself a win. And this is like, I'm not saying a guarantee, but for me, my money is very valuable to me. I don't come from having a lot. I've had to work for everything. I never got a car growing up. Nobody ever gave me anything. My first car I bought when I was 32 years old. My second car I bought during the last bull market because somebody cut my catalytic converter off. But the thing is, a lot of people, need to make money, right? And so they want to make a quick 100x. And so they're looking for a crypto that they can make 100x. And then they lose what little money that they have. So when I got into crypto, when you research investing into crypto, you find a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. Like, this is a step you take, this is a step. And if you research all of those things, don't just listen to one person, but research, find the consensus of how do I invest in crypto. And 99% of the time, it's all about accumulation in the bear market, dollar cost averaging, and finding a project that is going to last from the bull market to the bear market. Never leave your crypto on exchanges. Don't leave money on a micro wallet. Like, there's all these rules. If you futures trade, always set a stop loss. Like, all these things you need to understand before you invest in crypto. But the thing is, once you find that research and you do it all and you get it, you take it in, you find out that the best strategy, you can try your futures trade and you can try to find a 100x token. But when you get all of that out of your system, when you grow up a little bit in the crypto ecosystem, when you realize how it works, you're going to want to be accumulating. And all that means is to buy crypto in the 2 years when it is going from the 99% where it's down from right now to the place where we're at right now. And you accumulate, you wait. Okay, I would say like the bull market happens, you have a high in November. I would wait until at least August to September of the next year before I would start buying. So you're going to be waiting 9 or 10 months, from the next year. So that you're talking almost a year. Right. Okay, before you can even start buying from the bull market to the bear market.
Maybe 2.
What's that?
Maybe even 2.
Yeah, you can start at 1, but that's a judgment call anywhere between 1 year and 2 years. I 100% agree. Yeah. And then you just accumulate, buy crypto the whole time. You're like, oh, I bought it $5. It went down to 3. Yeah, welcome to the bear market. This is how you accumulate more and more. Instead of thinking, I just lost $2 of crypto, be like, damn, instead of I only got 250 ICP at $5 for this price, and say it goes down to 250, now I can get double that. I can get 500 ICP for the same price. So every time in 2020 the price went down, I was celebrating. Everybody else is like, oh,
yeah.
oh, the price went down. I was like, yes, dude, I can buy more and more right now. Like, that's how you win, bro. And I'm telling you, I was a newbie at this time, and I was making big moves. I was putting $10,000 in the graph, and I never seen $10,000 before. You know, these are the things you can come from nothing to blowing up and having everything that you want if you do it right. And that's why I make these videos. That's why, you know, I'm friends with people like Six Figs. He guides me. I can guide you guys with what I know, but if I don't know it, I can't, you know, help you. So I accumulate as many good people in my circle as I can. It's very small, you know, but I accumulate good people. I accumulate crypto, and I don't treat people like crypto. That sounded bad, but I try to get as many friends as I can, you know, to go on this journey with me. And Six Figs saw it. He saw ICP. He didn't like it at first, you know, but I was like, man, you need to look at it. You need to check it out. And so far I've made equal on my ICP trades. That doesn't mean any money that I got from the grant money of Internet Computer, none of the grant money. So I bought it $44. Okay, I lost a lot of money, but it going down to $4 and then back up to $9 and then going back down to like $3.50 or whatever it went to, and then back up to $7.50. I made all that money back that I had lost, you know, from $44 down to $5, you know, and then I was able to, you know, get out, you know, at like $8, go back down to $4, just, you know, be able to make money on it. And you can do that too. You can make day trades, you can get into stable coins, but if you really want to be successful and make a lot of money, just buy in the bear market. That's all there is. Like, just forfeit on here. His average price is 440, and I, you know, not financial advice, but I would like to take credit for that a little bit, because when I met Just Forfeit, he did not buy ICP. He was not an ICP investor. And when the price went down, you know, below like 450, when I told him, you know, hey, it's probably a good time to buy, I felt a little bad, you know, but I understood in my mind, I'm like, it doesn't matter. We're going down to our low. We'll find our low. He can accumulate at those low prices. And then once we're above this, above his 440 average, then I'm going to be like, bro, this is what it was about. I'm glad you're in the profit. Now you're making money. Now you don't have to stress. You know, now you can just get your bags and ride them to the moon. And then I tell people really good exit and, you know, really good entry points too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you've been killing it. That's awesome. Hopefully,
man. I really look up to you, bro. I'm not just saying that for the video.
Vice versa, dude. It's a two-way street for sure, 100%.
That's what's up, and hopefully we can get our channels to 100K by the bull market, man.
Dude, that's the other thing too. So like, I'd say the last bull run, my channel was probably sitting at like 10,000 subs, and like I'm sorry, maybe it was like 6,000 subs. And by the end of the bull market, like,
oh yeah,
it was like I gained like 4,000 subs in like 4 months, 5 months.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then it was like it was like 800 a month. And then when it went down to like the bear market, it was like 40 subs, 80 subs a month. And so like, dude, yeah, you're going to absolutely kill it this bull market, because we're already in position. You've got a ton of content out there that people are just going to find and just start loving. You know?
And I'm making better content as we go. That's why my channel's doing so good lately, like all the good people. But like, I've really buckled down on my content. I've buckled down on my life. Like when your life is kind of like chaotic, it makes it hard to make good content. But now that my life is like 100%. Stable, I'm working, I got income, I'm not worried about money, I'm not sick, you know, now I can really show my potential to YouTube, to Definity, to Internet Computer, to my fellow colleagues, you know, all of that. But let's get into some questions. We are over an hour and 15 minutes into this, so we're going to call it soon. With ETFs coming, though, he says he thinks this is the last parabolic bull run. And what I say when people say that is that's a very educated thing that you're telling me right there. But the thing that I have the answer to that, in my opinion, I don't have the actual answer, but my opinion on this matter is we are going to stick with the cycles until they don't work anymore. Because you don't just say a cycle is going to end because you predict that without a reason to say that the cycle is going to end. And you are saying with the ETFs coming, that to me is not an indicator of what is to come, saying that there is not going to be another 4-year cycle, which means another, bear market and then a parabolic bull run. I don't think that we're there yet. I think that's going to happen somewhere around 2030. I do believe that we are, but like I said, I'm not going to call that until it happens, because, this is a pattern that has never failed. So, but what are the chances that ICP will become like Bitcoin and Ethereum and sustains value, Six Figs?
Yeah. Actually, I just wanted to kind of comment on that last thing too, and I'll comment on that other one. With this ETFs coming, is this the last parabolic bull run? I think that it has the potential to elevate this bull run, similar to like all that COVID money that entered the cryptoverse and pump the price. So I think like there's some serious potential to pump crypto. But like when I'm sitting here thinking about this, like the bigger picture, like the more the dollar degrades and becomes less valuable, I think what we're going to see is a lot, hey, let's just say there's a lot of countries out there that have absolutely destroyed their currency. Venezuela is one of them, right? There's a lot of these other countries like that are starting to onboard into crypto. I think there could be another potential for another parabolic bull run once countries start making Bitcoin like this primary method of payment, possibly. I've always wondered what would happen if, like, let's just say, I don't know, the United States said, we're ditching the dollar, we're going to Bitcoin only. You're going to see that Bitcoin go, boom, just pump.
So I want to comment on that. So you're talking about countries bringing their gross domestic product basically into, crypto. So with the parabolic bull run, the reason that we go parabolic is because money that has never entered into the market before comes in massive waves. So if we get every single country or a lot of the countries to adopt crypto, we are going to get parabolic movements. But once all of that money enters into the market, crypto becomes mass adopted. It is not going to be able to move as much because you don't have enough new money and new retail investors coming into the market for a parabolic move. Yeah. So right now I would say we have maybe how many people in crypto? 500 million out of the 7 billion?
Probably less than, there's probably what, 1%?
1%? So we're talking,
I have no idea.
70 million? 70 million? Yeah. Let's see, 10%. Yeah, 70 million. It would be 70 million.
Okay.
So if we have
maybe somebody could look
right
that
now,
up in the chat.
Yeah. And so if we have 70 million now and we're moving this parabolic, it's going to take at least, so not even by 2030. It's going to take at least probably 20 more years. So if we got 70 million this far from 2009 to 2023, 14 years. Okay, let's say it moves exponentially by 2-3x that amount. Okay, it's going to take at least 15 to 30 more years in order for a lot of that money and a lot of the people to be invested in crypto. So I see possibly parabolic bull runs until that happens, until all the money, that is going to FOMO in, all the retail investing comes out of it.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, 70 million just seems small. Maybe it's like 700 million.
10%. Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely still I don't know what the percentage rates is. I saw something, it was very low. So I mean, this is still a very early time. And like I said, like when we say countries getting involved, we're talking like governments abandoning their native form of currency. I'm trying to think of what the Venezuelan dollar is. Or like I think Zambia is another one. They have $1 trillion notes.
Jeez, hyperinflation.
Zimbabwe is what it was. Zimbabwe. Okay. But like, if I was one of these governments, you know what I'd be doing right now? You elect a president with one of these countries where their currency is worth absolutely nothing, and you start taking that worthless currency and buying up Bitcoin with it at a governmental level. And I mean, really, when it comes down to it, I mean, they might be able to really offset a bunch of problems that those countries are having. Okay, so they're over 425. Okay, so interesting.
So somewhere between 425 and 530 is what we're seeing here.
Okay, so so about okay. I was thinking maybe 700 mil, but maybe after this bull run we'll be up there.
Yeah, it's like 5% of the world. You know, yeah, about 5% of the world, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what what's the total population?
8 billion or something. 7 to 8 billion. Yeah, 7 to 8 billion.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. It's going to be interesting to see.
And then it's going to move to double that in 4 years. So if we double and then double that, that would be 2 billion by 2031, then 4 billion by 2035, and then everybody by 2039.
Hodl your ICP.
Yeah. Well, so we have how many more bull markets? 1, 2, 3 more? Yeah, three and a half? 3.
All I hope is that we get those mega yachts.
8 billion. Dang. Okay. More people are being born than that are passing away. Okay. 1.6 billion Bolivar to buy a loaf of bread.
Okay. Bolivar. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's a problem, you know, and why, you know, hey, you're going to see a lot of these broke nations, you know, printing money to buy Bitcoin and crypto. Why not?
Right. So here we're going to take our last question and we're going to get off of here. He says it's a little bit off topic, but I know Six Figs loves Japan. I actually have a sister that lives in Japan. Never met her though. Want to meet her one day. Do you like their coin Jasmy, which is the Japanese Bitcoin, if you didn't know that? Just yes or no is fine.
I like it. Yeah, you've covered it. I've watched your videos and your stuff on it. Seems like a good project.
All right, cool. Well, I want to thank you again, man. God, I'm so glad this worked out. I'm glad you had time tonight because, that's fun. You know, I neglect my friends. I don't try to. If I do that to you guys, I apologize. But yeah, thanks, man. And I'd love to come on the channel. Yeah. Sorry, Crypto Airborne couldn't be here. But is there anything that you want to just let people know what you're doing, kind of where to find you, and when you do your videos?
Yeah, well, after this bull market, you can find me at the moon. But just hit me up on Twitter at Real Six Figs or YouTube. Just type in Six Figs, and I'm there. We'll try to get Bitcoin Renegade on my channel as well as some others. So that's really where I'm at.
Cool, man. Yeah. Awesome. So Meta Owl's here too. Cool. Thank you, Rock Acid. Thank you, Just Forfeit, everybody for showing up. Please don't forget to smash the like and subscribe if you haven't, because it says that about 60% of the people that watch are not subscribed. So if you could subscribe, that would help a lot. All right, guys. That being said, goodbye and good ICP. ckETH. Bam!